Hi everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation. I have a fun video for you today, just a real quick share, but I have lots of links down below, so I do want you to check that out. So this video is being filmed on Tuesday. On Saturday, so last Saturday, I woke up in the morning and I was thinking, I'm going to make a crafty project. My room is all cleaned up. All my deadlines have been met. So like, what am I going to work on today? And one of the things that I did want to work on was making some cards. I had seen the hammock card video pop up on my YouTube, and I thought, well, today's the day I'm going to figure out how to make this. Well, what ended up happening was then that morning in our hashtag paperstashsmash group that is hosted by Debbie Alley, she had sent out a message and had a project idea and asked if any of us were interested. So what the idea is sending cards to her that she can distribute to the veterans in a veteran home in Vermont where she's currently at. As you know, if you've been following hashtag paperstashsmash and Debbie Alley, she and her husband travel all over the United States all year long in a motorhome. For the 4th of July, Debbie wanted to be able to give all of the veterans in the veterans home a card. Well, there's like 100 plus veterans in that particular home. So that's a lot of cards to make. So she asked if anybody wanted to help with this particular project. And I just was like, you know what? This was meant to be. I wanted to learn how to make some cards today. I really want to try this, so I'm going to do it. So I totally volunteered for this, and I thought this is just a grand and glorious idea. So I went through my stash and discovered I have very, very little, patriotic type papers. I have a pad from Hobby Lobby, but has no ephemera. It has no cut aparts, no nothing. So it was going to be really hard to make cards. So I thought, well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what I do have and then go to Craft Warehouse because, shopping, right? So I went through my stash, the first thing I did, and I found that I had already made and not used these cards that I made. This was an Echo Park collection that I used a while ago, and I had sold some of these at a craft fair, but these were left over. So boom, I had 3 cards ready to go. So I put those off to the side, and then I remembered that just recently for Country Craft Creations, I was involved in an online virtual retreat and for National Scrapbooking Day. One of the projects were patriotic cards using this cute doodlebug paper. And so Tamara, who heads up Country Craft Creations, went ahead and had a tutorial on how to make all of these really cute cards. And I had the kit and I hadn't put them together yet. So I went ahead and made all of these adorable patriotic doodlebug cards. So I had those. Then I had leftovers from that kit. So I made 3 more, and they're blank inside so I can write my message, but super cute, patriotic, really nice cards that I think that they will enjoy. So then, I said I was going to go shopping because, shopping. And I went to my local craft warehouse and I found this collection here, and this is Echo Park's Yankee Doodle. And so I picked that up. I picked up a 6x6 pad and one 12x12 sticker sheet, and then a pack of ephemera. So that's all I bought. I was thinking about buying the 12x12, and I thought, no, I'm going to go simple, I'm going to go small, and I'm going to just see what happens. So I signed up to make 15 cards. So then I thought, well, I'll just make the rest of the cards. I signed up for 15, but I ended up making 20, so just in case they need extra or something gets ruined or whatever, we've got extras. So the first thing I did was go to Sam Calcott's website, her YouTube, I should say, and I looked at her tutorial, which was fantastic, but she made the 5x7 cards, which is great, but we were supposed to make 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So Sam said that she was inspired by a gal who had a blog post on Daisy Chain Fun, and I will have a link down below for both of those so you can make both sizes if you'd like. So I looked at Daisy Chain Fun to get the dimensions for this particular card here. So again, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. These are super cute. She calls them a hammock card. Just really adorable, and they're fun. So on the back, what I did was I put a piece of white cardstock and then a sticker, and then this is where I can write my sentiment. But then when you open it up, it has that really cool kind of 3D effect, and it's just really, really cute. So I ended up making 3 of those using the paper collection. Okay, so again, this was a 6x6 paper collection. I did, of course, add cardstock from my stash, so red, white, and blue, of course. And some of the blue actually was scraps from another project that I did. So, you know, that was kind of fun too. So I used those up. So I made 3 of those. And then I made this particular style card. Now, this one here is called a square layering technique, and I'm going to mess up her name so bad. I'm only going to say her first name. Sylvis she had a really great tutorial. It was on a YouTube channel, and then it also was just real recent. So this is a brand new one. And so I watched that, and I'll have, again, link below, and use some of the papers to make these cards, and they're just adorable. I just think they're real simple, but I love the layering, and I love how it kind of gives a different look to it. On the inside, I use some of the paper and stickers to decorate. So aren't those cute? Just adorable. I tried to keep them pretty patriotic, you know, so they're for 4th of July, for the veterans. So I really wanted to kind of keep it in that, you know, vein. So, and then this one here, instead of having it like this, I just turned it like this because it fit this cut apart much better. Okay. So I made those. And then Debbie sent out a message and said, hey, who wants to make banners? And everybody could make a banner piece, and then she could string them together and then hang them up as a decoration. So I was like, yeah, this is awesome. So I took some white chipboard that I had in my stash and just created this 5x7 banner piece. I just went ahead and used a corner punch on that, my chomper. Layered some stickers here. Happy 4th of July. And then these were banner pieces, and I put the USA there with some baker's twine. Okay, and set some eyelets here. And so now I'm going to send her that banner piece as well as the card, so she'll be able to use that for decoration in the Veterans Home. So then I had leftover pieces. Okay, so this is a Debbie Alley tutorial. Again, I will put a link down below. It's Debbie's, she calls it a little mini album, and it's adorable. And it was so easy and fast to put together. I put it together really quick and used all of my scraps to finish it. And when I say scraps, I mean literally scraps. I pieced things together and made this, and it turned out really cute. It's 4 by 5, has a 1.5 inch spine, layered some stickers right there, sticker here. I used one piece of paper that I just cut at 3 inches, and then I put a scrap. I had all these strips from making those cards, and so I was really trying to use them all up. Went through my stash, got my red, white, and blue, my star ribbons, and used that. And so I just put a ribbon closure on here, and this thing is so cute. Like, there's pockets everywhere, and I love how in her video she shows you all the things, how to make it, how to put it together, and like what she was thinking, and how she actually like used her scraps that she had to create this. It was really cool. I made a little booklet for the big pocket on the inside front cover. And again, these are pieced together because I had strips that weren't quite big enough. The pages are 3.5 by 4.5. This has a magnet closure, plenty of room to put some photos in there. And then I was able to use up all these stickers that I had left over. Then it turns, there's a smaller pocket here. I put a sticker here. Again, pieced things together. Here's a little tag from the ephemera pack. This page, you can see behind that photo mat, pieced together, pieced together. There's a photo mat here. This page here and here has little mini photo flaps that open up, and then big photo flaps behind. This here has a pocket. I used the sticker that says the Pledge of Allegiance on here and backed it on a piece of white cardstock and just made a little tag for here. And then again, another photo opportunity. And then this one here has a little tag made with the ephemera. And then it opens up and more photo opportunities. So you could put some bigger photo here and a smaller one here. But I had to use a truck. I just had to use a truck. It was very cute. Back page, again, you can see I pieced papers together to make the background and then have the photo mat here. And I used some of the stickers here. This was fun to make. This was just a little envelope and I've got a little closure here. And the fun part is that so under here, and I cannot remember where I've seen this, but I've seen this in a couple different places where they took a really small, very thin button and glued it onto the paper and then put the outer paper on top of that. So it's just a little teeny tiny button underneath this, and that's what the string wraps around. And then it opens up. Again, you can see how I pieced it. It opens up, so I put a photo mat here, and that's how I kind of filled in some spots too, because I was running out of paper, so I've got a lot of white in here for photo mats. And then here, like I had not enough paper, so this is actually the front of the paper pad. And because of the way that this looked, I loved it. And I thought, you know what? That would work for a piece of paper to go in this pocket. So that's how I matted the inside of the back cover. I just thought that was pretty cool and a good idea. So if you have, you know, you can still use your covers and stuff. It's really cool. On the end of the string, I have a sticker here, and then I just punched a piece of paper and then another sticker, and then I just put the string right in between that star sticker and then that little circle piece of paper, and then that just wraps around like this. So again, they're two really tiny little buttons. Let me see. I think I might have one to show you how small it was. Where did I get that button? I think it was in here in my little button stash. Yep, it is. Okay, so I just got two of these really tiny little thin little buttons, and that's what's glued on there, and then I just glued the paper on top of it, and that's how I made that closure. And yeah, the string glues under the button, so that's how it's secured, and just really an easy way to make a string closure, especially if you don't have brads, that kind of thing. So this turned out really cute. And then each one of these pages has a pocket. So what I ended up doing with that was I had some strips of paper left over that I put on the top of these tags. Oops, sorry, moving my mat. So I think Debbie cut her tags a little bit wider. I changed mine because I used this punch. So I ended up trimming mine to 2.5. So I put the strips of paper on top of the tags, and then I punched it, and then it punches the hole out, and then I just used my blue gingham ribbon here to tie through. And then on the bottoms, I made photo mats. So they're blank on the back, and they just fit in the pockets just perfectly. So that is, that's my little mini book that I made. So I made quite a bit of stuff. So I smashed, even though I bought it, I guess it does. I don't know if it counts or not, but I'm going to say it does, because I smashed it like it's gone. I bought it and now it's gone. So I made all of these cards. I made the mini album. I did smash, and I'm going to call it a smash, the tutorial project that I got with my what you call it? I'm getting tongue-tied. I smashed the kit from National Scrapbook Day. And then I also was able to get these cards out, and I'm going to use those and get those out of my stash that and put them to good use. So that's what I ended up doing, you guys. I really would love to see somebody else, you know, take up this project, and in your hometown, if you have a veterans home or, you know, a local hospital for veterans, anything like that, if you guys are so inclined to go ahead and do this, because it's just, I was so excited. I was so excited. I like whipped these out in no time because I just was like, I'm so happy. So I'm going to get these all, you know, written in and filled out, and I'm going to get those in the mail in the next day or so and send them to Debbie so that she can give them to them. So I'm just really happy about this. So anyways, thank you again for watching. Thanks for listening to my rambling. I hope this inspires you to do something like that. And again, this is, I'm going to call this a smash that I'm going to count for June. So I still have other stuff to do. If you've been following me, I've picked out a bunch of stuff, but Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. So thank you guys very much. And I hope this inspires you to do something like this for your community. All right. Thank you so much, and stay crafty. Bye-bye.